The story of Sadir and the path of contentment. In the ancient village of Vrindavan, there lived a humble man named Sadir. He was a skilled farmer, known for his honest ways and devotion to his family. Sadir was content with his life, though it was not luxurious. His wife, Leela, was his pillar of strength, and together they lived a simple but peaceful life. The food they ate was modest, often gathered from their own land, and Sadir believed that whatever wealth he had earned honestly through hard work. One day, a wandering sage named Mahadeva passed through the village. He had a serene presence, and people often sought his wisdom. Sadir, curious about the sage's teachings, invited him to his humble home. After they exchanged greetings, Sadir asked, "O sage, I live a simple life and am content with what I have, but I often hear different teachings about what brings true happiness. Could you guide me on the right path?" Mahadeva smiled and responded, "Sadir, true happiness does not come from endless accumulation or blind contentment with material things. There are 3 things that one should feel satisfied with, and 3 things that should never be considered enough." Sadir listened intently as Mahadeva began to explain. The 3 things to be satisfied with. Mahadeva said, "First, one should feel satisfied with his own wife. A wife is not just a companion, she is a partner in life's journey. If a man is blessed with a loving and devoted wife, he should cherish her and feel grateful for her presence. No other woman, no matter her beauty or wealth, can replace the bond he shares with his own wife." Sadir nodded, thinking about his wife Leela, who had always stood by him through thick and thin. He felt a deep sense of gratitude for her. Second, Mahadeva continued, one should feel satisfied with the food given by Providence. Many people are constantly in pursuit of finer food, never feeling content with what they have. But the food that is provided by the earth, through the grace of Providence, is enough to nourish the body. It is important to cultivate gratitude for what is given to us, rather than always seeking more. Sadir reflected on the simple meals he shared with Leela. Though they were often humble, they were made with love and care. He realized that he had never truly lacked for food, and his heart swelled with appreciation for the nourishment that came from his own land. Lastly, Mahadeva said, one should feel satisfied with wealth acquired through honest effort. A man who works hard, who earns his living through righteous means, should take pride in his honest earnings. Whether the wealth is little or much, if it is earned with integrity, it is enough. Sadir looked around at his modest home, his crops, and his savings, and he felt content. He had worked hard to build his life, and it had brought him enough. He no longer felt the need to chase after excessive riches. The 3 things to never feel satisfied with. Mahadeva then spoke with a thoughtful tone. However, there are 3 things with which a man should never feel satisfied. First, he said, one should never feel satisfied with study. Knowledge is infinite. No matter how much we learn, there is always more to discover. The more we study, the more we realize how much we do not know. Therefore, a wise man always seeks more knowledge, understanding that learning is a lifelong journey. Sadir reflected on this teaching. Though he was knowledgeable in farming, he realized that there were many other areas of life in which he had room to grow. There was wisdom to be found in nature, in the scriptures, and in the teachings of others. The pursuit of knowledge seemed like a path without end, but one that brought fulfillment. Second, Mahadeva continued, one should never feel satisfied with chanting the holy names of the Lord, or with the practice of japa. The power of the Lord's name is limitless, and as long as one has breath in his body, he should continue to chant and meditate. There is always more to be felt and experienced in devotion. No matter how much one chants, there is always deeper love and connection to the divine that can be attained. Sadir thought of his own quiet prayers and the times when he would chant the names of the Lord, feeling a deep peace. He understood now that devotion was not something that could be completed or exhausted. It was an ever-deepening practice. Lastly, Mahadeva said, one should never feel satisfied with charity. A man should always strive to help others, to give more, and to serve those in need. The world is full of suffering, and as long as there are people in need, one should not rest on the charity he has already given. Giving is an endless act, and in giving, we become better versions of ourselves. Sadir felt humbled by this last teaching. While he had given alms to the poor when he could, he understood that there was always more that could be done. The act of giving was not about how much one had given, but about the ongoing desire to share and uplift others. Sadir's reflection. That night, Sadir sat in silence, reflecting on the sage's teachings. He realized that while he had been content with his wife, his food, and the wealth he had earned through hard work, there was always room for growth in the areas of study, devotion, and charity. His life had been simple and peaceful, but he understood that the journey toward fulfillment was not about accumulating more possessions or wealth, it was about deepening one's knowledge, devotion, and capacity for selfless giving. Sadir began to make small changes. He started studying not just for practical knowledge but also to deepen his spiritual understanding. He increased his devotion to God, chanting the holy names with a heart full of love. He also sought out new ways to give to others, not just through material gifts, but by offering his time, his wisdom, and his kindness to those who needed it most. The moral of the story. The story of Sudhir teaches us the importance of finding contentment in the right things. It is natural to seek satisfaction in our relationships, food, and honest wealth, but it is equally important to never become complacent in our pursuit of knowledge, devotion, and charity. These are the areas that should always inspire us to strive for more, to deepen our understanding, and to continue giving without expecting anything in return. True fulfillment comes not from external possessions, but from an ongoing journey of growth, devotion, and selflessness. By learning to balance contentment with a constant striving for spiritual growth and service, we can lead a life of true peace and purpose. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to give it a like, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe to the channel for more valuable content like this. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.